AITA for charging my parents rent after they moved into my house. So, I, 27F, bought my first house last year. Huge accomplishment, right? Except now it feels like I'm living with two very entitled roommates, otherwise known as my parents. I worked hard, saved for years, and finally bought a small 3-bedroom house. My parents were super proud until Dad lost his job and Mom said their apartment lease was ending. They asked if they could crash at my place for a while. Of course, I said yes. They're my parents. I thought it'd be temporary. The problem? It's been 8 months. They've basically taken over the house. Dad set up a recliner in the living room like it's his man cave. Mom reorganized my kitchen and labeled the pantry Mom's baking shelf. They invite relatives over without asking me. I came home once to find my aunt watching my Netflix like it was her house. And guess what? They haven't offered to pay for anything. Not groceries, not utilities, not rent. My bills doubled, my fridge is always empty, and somehow I feel like the teenager again. Now the drama. Last week I sat them down and said, I love you, but if you're staying here, you need to contribute, even just $300 a month toward bills. They were offended. Dad said, we raised you for 18 years and now you're charging us rent? Mom said, this is so disrespectful. Parents don't pay rent to their children. Now they're giving me the cold shoulder, muttering about how kids these days don't value family. Half my family thinks I'm ungrateful and should take care of my parents since they raised me. The other half says they're adults and need to contribute if they're living in my house. I don't want to kick them out, but I also can't keep paying double bills while they treat the place like a retirement resort. So Reddit AITA for asking my parents to pay rent after they moved into my house and started acting like it was theirs. Update 3 weeks later. Things got heated. My parents told extended family I was charging rent to my poor parents, which made me look terrible. But then my uncle, who's an accountant, sat them down and explained that $300 barely covered half the utilities. He even said I was being generous. Now Mom and Dad reluctantly agreed to pay. The drama isn't totally over. They still complain about house rules, but at least my fridge has food again. So yeah, I might have broken some cultural family tradition, but I also stood up for myself. My house, my bills, my rules. So Reddit, am I the AH for charging rent to my parents, or just an adult who doesn't want to be parent trapped in her own home?